sing Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. One more time we sing Yalai, Lalai, Yalai, Lalai, Yalai, Lalai, Yalai, 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 Lalai, Yalai, Lalai, Yalai, Lalai, Yalai, Yalai, last time Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. 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 Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Hava Nashira, Shir Hallelujah, Shir Hallelujah. Hava, Ozi, Zimratia, Vayeli, Yeshua, 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 Ozi, Zimratia, Vayeli, Yeshua. Time for a capo change too. There we go. Hine matov umanayim shevetachim gam yachad. Hine matov umanayim shevetachim gam yachad. Let's sing that again. Here we go. Hine matov umanayim shevetachim gam yachad. Hine matov, baby. Hine matov umanayim shevetachim gam yachad. Repeat after me. Goes like this. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
To be together on this day. How good it is. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
To be together on this
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is
to be together on this day. Hine matov, umanayim, shebetachim, gam yachad. Hine matov, umanayim, shebetachim, gam yachad.
Well, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Say it back to me.
Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
All right. Shabbat
Rabbi
Shalom.
Spike.
Shabbat Shalom. Cantor, I am so psyched to be here. I've been looking forward to this all week. Just
Me
getting
too.
right back up here. Really, the energy is amazing, and we're so glad to be back here in our sanctuary at Temple Emanu-El with you. So we say Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. And of course, we say Shana Tova.
Shana Tova.
Okay, and now we say Hag Sameach Sukkot,
Chag Sameach Sukkot.
which just means Happy Sukkot. And we're going to talk about Sukkot. We're going to weave it in and out of our service for the next hour. It's like a hat trick: Shabbat, Shana Tova, and Happy Sukkot. So, friends, your service is pinned into the Facebook page, of course. In the room, in the sanctuary, we have Cantor Lorna Desnick. I'm Rabbi Spike Anderson. We've got Mark Feinberg with the camera. And we have our president, Robert Wittenstein, taking over for Stephen Blick in the back end, making all the magic happen. So go ahead and give a shout out to everybody who's here. Say Shabbat Shalom, who you are, where you're watching from, all of that good stuff. Wish each other Shana Tova, a happy Sukkot, and let's come back together with Hine Matov.
Hine matov, umanayim, shebetachim, gam yachad. Hine matov, umanayim, shebetachim,
Mark.
gam yachad. How good it is, how sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is,
How sweet it is.
how sweet it is.
To be together on this day.
Here we go.
Hine matov, umanayim, shebetachim, gam yachad. Hine matov, umanayim, shebetachim, gam yachad.
So the timing of Sukkot coming right after Yom Kippur, of course, is curious. It comes fast, like Yom Kippur, and then right afterwards we have Sukkot. The tradition is actually that after Havdalah on Yom Kippur, after Ne'ilah, you have Havdalah. So after that, you go home and you drive in the first stake of your sukkah. You start building your sukkah right as Yom Kippur ends. And the rabbis have, as you can imagine, a lot to say about the timing of Yom Kippur and then Sukkot in succession so quickly. Essentially, they say, so Yom Kippur, you fasted, you had intense introspection, you realigned your priorities, right? You got deep. Now, that's done. Mazel tov, kol hakavod, you did it. Now, build something. Do something. Don't just talk the talk, walk the talk. Act. That's what we have going into Sukkot. That's that energy that we have. Yom Kippur to Sukkot, the introspection to the physicality, to act. So as we get ready for our candle lighting, let's take 3 nice deep breaths together, everybody. Knowing that we're all doing this together wherever we are, deep breath in. with Jews all across the world in this moment. Deep breath in. If you have candles for candle lighting, I'd encourage you to get them ready. Your candle lighting is on page 120, page 2 of your daf. If you're sitting, please rise for our candle lighting as we get ready to bring light into darkness, as we Jews have been doing since time began.
All right. Echad. 1. Strive. 2. Tonight we bring in this amazing light, this energy of our Chag, our festival, this joy of Sukkot and of Shabbat together as we sing, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu lehadlik ner, shel Shabbat v'shel Yom Tov.
We say Amen.
Amen.
On Shabbat, we have the special Shirin. We have the guests that come every Shabbat, those angels who peek in the windows as we say. They come to us, and we say to them, come on in, stay a while, rest in peace, and then depart in peace. We have a little extra something that we get on Shabbat. We celebrate that with our song, Shalom Aleichem, page 142, 2 of your daf.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharetz, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Loachem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Baruchuni L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzeitchem L'Shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon, Mimelech, Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
For many of us, Sukkot is our favorite Jewish holiday. Sukkot, of course, has a history. I actually look at it as a 3-part history. The first part is the reminiscing of when we left Egypt and wandered the desert for those 42 years, living in temporary structure, booths that could be broken down and set up quickly. We were an itinerant people on the move. So Sukkot is a nod to that. More succinctly, once we enter the land of Israel, we become an agricultural people. For most of our history, most of Jewish history, we were an agricultural people. And when it became time for harvest, which is right now in Israel, when it became time for harvest, we wouldn't waste lots of time going from the home to the fields and then back again. Instead, we would set up Sukkot, booths, temporary structures right on the edge of the fields so that we could work right until the sun went down. And then there are tales told of real parties, real celebrations happening with all this amazing food and company and music happening in the booths, in the Sukkot. So a Torah holiday, a harvest holiday. But I think Sukkot actually is the holiday which represents Jewish history and Jews the best. We are, in our essence, an itinerant people, never in one place, one land, for too long, either by choice or not by choice. And so as we are leaving, forced to leave on our own volition, Sukkot captures the essence of who we are as a people. You can't take your land with you. You can't take your house with you. You can't take your business with you. Usually you can't even take your tools of business with you. What can you take? That which fits in the sukkah. Your family, your tradition, your faith, your seichel, your joy. That's what we can take with us. That's what we have taken with us from place to place to place. And that is why Sukkot, in my mind, is the quintessential Jewish holiday. Friends, L'chadodi, page 138, 3 on your daf.
L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. 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 Shamor v'zachor v'dibur echad, Emanu-El hamiyuchad, Adonai echad u'shemo echad, l'shemo tiferet v'litila. Here we go. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nei lecha, ki hi mikor ha'biracha, mirosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. Hitoreri, ki va'orei, kumi ori, uri, shir daveri, kevod Adonai alayik nikla. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela.
Rise and face your door.
Boi v'shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha u'v'tzola, toch emunei am segula. Boi chala. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela. L'chadodi likrat kala, b'nei Shabbat nikavela.
We are super warmed up. We are ready. Our Baruch is on page 146, page 4 of your daf. Feel the energy of the rising moon, the stars coming out as we roll into dark, page 4 of your daf.
Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Hooray, Yom Halayla. Golel or mipnei choshech. Golel or mipnei choshech. V'choshech mipnei or. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night. Roll into dark, roll into light. Night becomes day, day turns to night.
We center ourselves for our Shema, page 152.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 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 Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
Please be seated. So Sukkot, like just about all of our Jewish holidays, is ripe with symbolism and experience, each thing having meaning upon meaning, teaching us lessons, real lessons. The sukkah, for instance, is required to be missing at least half a wall, maybe more. The roof is required to be open enough that you can feel the elements. Not really even a roof. It's kind of covering, so you can feel the elements. You can feel the sun. You can feel the rain if it comes in. The sages say these openings in the sukkah are there on purpose. They are there so that we can hear the cries of the poor, so we can hear the street, so we can feel that the world is not always warm and cozy. We're supposed to be part of this. We're supposed to be aware of this. And the holes in the sukkah are there to remind us that we have a place not just in the world, but taking it from where it is to where it needs to be. The Ahafta can be found on page 154, 5 in your daf.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levavecha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha ve'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha ve'shinantam levanecha ve'dibarta bam ve'shivtecha beveitecha uvlechtecha v'derech uv'shochbecha u'v'kumecha u'kishartam le'yot al yadecha ve'hayu letotafot bein einecha u'chtavtam al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני
אדוני אלוהיכם.
אדוני אלוהיכם אמת.
So there are two mitzvahs that we are commanded to do as part of Sukkot. We'll go into both of them in a moment, but the first one I find fascinating. The commandment is that on Sukkot we are commanded to feel joy. It's an imperative. Feel joy. Strange thing. How can you command an emotion, especially an emotion like joy? And in Torah, there's the hyperbolic example of who is commanded to feel joy. Everybody, including the widow who has just lost her husband. Even she is commanded to feel joy on Sukkot in the Sukkah. The sages talk about this and debate it. And essentially, they come up with a perspective which I really appreciate. The perspective is this, that life can be rough, it can be tough. There are challenges and there are tragedies. And sometimes they may seem to come one after the next, after the next, after the next, to the point where we may feel like that is where we are, that's where we live, in solemnity, in sadness, in despair. What the Torah is doing, according to the rabbis, with this command to feel joy, even if you don't feel like feeling joy, to feel joy, the Torah is saying to us, there is a time for seriousness and sadness, but that is no way to go through your entire life. There have got to be moments of joy. There have got to be moments of community. There have got to be moments of elevated spirit and fun. Thus, the first commandment that we get on Sukkot, to feel joy. Friends, Michamocha, our prayer of joy and redemption, can be found on page 158, page 6 in your daf.
Michamocha va'elim Adonai, Michamocha nedor b'kodesh. Try that with me. Michamocha va'elim Adonai, Michamocha nedor b'kodesh. Nora tehilot, oseh velev. That repeats. Nora tehilot, oseh velev. Who is like you? Who is like you, Adonai? Who is like you, Adonai? When Moses said the children crossed the sea, they sang to you with songs of joy. Who is like you, Adonai? Michamocha, Michamocha va'elim Adonai, Michamocha nedor b'kodesh, Michamocha va'elim Adonai, Michamocha nedor b'kodesh.
In a moment, we'll get to our Hashkivenu prayer, which you'll find page 166 on your daf. And in the Hashkivenu prayer, we ask for God's peace as a Sukkot Shalom, That's the language that's used in there. Spread over us your sukkot of peace, your sukkah of peace, O God. Now, the rabbis say this is a strange construction to ask God to put over us for peace. Why not ask for a palace of peace, or even better, a fortress of peace? A sukkah is flimsy. A sukkah can be blown over with a strong wind. A sukkah of peace, flimsy peace. Why not ask for strong peace, solid peace, eternal peace, peace that cannot be moved? And the rabbinic answer, so good. They say, because that's not how peace really is. Peace is fragile. Peace needs to be attended to constantly, adjusted and guarded. And if we take our eyes off whatever peace we have achieved inside us, with our neighbors and nations, we take our eye off it, our attention off of it, it will blow down. Please God, Hashkivenu, offer us, give us, shelter us with your sukkah of peace.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom, v'ha'amidenu shomreinu l'chaim. Ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukkot shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. Amen. Amen.
One thing about this high holiday season, not just this one, every high holiday, is that I really recognize and appreciate as it feels like we as the Jewish people, because of the high holidays, are more on Jewish time. And by that I don't mean that we're late for an appointment. I mean that we have a Jewish time mindset, right? With Zichot and the Rosh Hashanah, the Yamin Noraim, the days of awe, Yom Kippur, going into Sukkot, but of course, woven in between all of that constantly is Shabbat. Shabbat, which Rabbi Heschel talks about as the haven in time, the place where we are allowed to, invited to, empowered to, commanded to rejuvenate, revitalize, reconnect with that which is most important in our lives, that which makes life worth living. Friends, Shabbat, we celebrate it here with you. Vashamru, page 162, 7 on your daf.
Veshamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, la'asor et ha-Shabbat berit olam. Ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai, asa Adonai, et hashamayim, ve'et haaretz, v'shamru bnei Yisrael, et ha-Shabbat, la'asot, et ha-Shabbat, ledoratam berit olam. Vayom hashvi Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash, Shabbat vayinafash. V'shamru bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot, et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam. V'shamru bnei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot, et ha-Shabbat ledoratam berit olam.
So 2 commandments for Sukkot. The first one is feel joy. And the second one is that we are supposed to dwell in the sukkah. Some say that means to sit in the sukkah. Others say it's just to put a finger in a sukkah. I mean, if you've got 1,000 people in one sukkah, everyone's not going to be able to sit in there. So just a finger in there. Others say, and by others I mean the rabbinic interpretations, be in proximity to it. Be in proximity to a sukkah if you can't actually sit in it, if you can't actually get inside. Yet another interpretation of what does it mean to dwell, this commandment, is that we are supposed to share a meal. Share a meal with the poor. That's the commandment. We're supposed to share a meal with the poor. Now, if you don't actually have people who fit that description coming over to your home and to your sukkah for whatever reason, this is where the idea of sova comes in. Sova is sort of the food version of tzedakah, right? Tzedakah is righteous giving. Sova is righteous giving of food for those who are in our midst, in our neighborhood, who are needy. This Sunday from 4:30 to 6, and this Wednesday...
4 to 5:30, I think.
We're going to check the times in a second. This Sunday afternoon
Sorry, Rob.
and Wednesday, something along the lines of Wednesday. Okay, Sunday is 4 to 5:30, and Wednesday is 6:30 to 8. We have our drive-by Sukkot experience, where we are asking you, we're inviting you to come on over in your car and to bring food for the needy as a continuation of our Project Isaiah, supporting the CAC, which is right in our neighborhood, to bring back your machzors if you have them, to say hi to our board and to our clergy, and we will be here with the lulav and the etrog, shaking the lulav and the etrog, and we want to do this with you on your behalf. So, come on over, fulfill this second commandment to dwell in the sukkah by being in proximity to it, but also by bringing food for those who are in our neighborhoods, this sova for those who need it. Friends, this is one of the key lessons of Sukkot that we experience every year. And with that, we rise for our Amidah, our central prayer, which you'll find on page 166 through 170, 7 through 9 in your daf, as we get ready to pray together.
Adonai, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzhak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah. Ha'el hagadol hagibor v'hanora el elyon, gomel chasadim tovim v'konei hakol, v'zocher chaste avot v'imot, u'mevi geula livnei v'neihem lema'an shemo ve'ahava, melech ozer u'moshia u'magen, baruch atah Adonai, magen Avraham ve'ezrat Sarah. Ata gibor leolam Adonai, michayei hakol ata rav lehoshia, morid hatal, mechalkel chayim bechesed, michayei hakol berachamim rabim, somech noflim verofeh cholim, umatir asurim, umikayem emunato, Lishenei afar, michamocha ba'al givurot, umido melach, melech mimit, umchayeh, umatzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'emanat al hachayot hakol, baruch atah Adonai, michayeh hakol. Ata kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yehalelu chasela, baruch atah Adonai, ha'el hakadosh.
We invite you to continue with the prayers of your Siddur or the prayers of your heart.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu likro et ha'halel. Yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai, yai lai lai lai, yai lai lai. Here come the words. Hallelujah, Adonai, kol goyim, shabechu, kol ha'omim, ki gavar aleinu, chasto, ve'emet, Adonai le'olam. So, my friends, what you just heard was the blessing for a very special section of prayers that only comes around 3.5 times a year, 3.5. It comes from Sukkot, which is where we are in now, / Shemini Atzeret, which is coming up in about a week. And then it comes again on Pesach and on Shavuot our Shalosh Regalim holidays, our holidays that connect us not just to the land in general, but to the land of Israel. And of course, I'm talking about Hallel, a set of Psalms from 113 through 118 that are very specific Psalms that praise God. So we are commanded on these 3 holidays to sing them. So we begin with the blessing, and then we sang together Psalm 117. And now what we are about to do, we are going to recite the blessing for shaking the lulav, and then we're going to shake the lulav and the etrog. So Rabbi has been telling us all of these amazing things about Sukkot all the way through our service, and I love it when Rabbi, and I won't get to see him do this because we'll be zooming in from our houses, but always on Sundays, you talk about Sukkot with the kids in our sukkah, and you talk about the rain dance.
The rain dance.
And here it is, right now.
It's the Jewish rain dance.
Yes.
Hey, it's our Jewish rain dance.
Exactly. So that's what we are doing when we shake the lulav, but we don't just shake it. First of all, you have to smell. This is a gorgeous etrog, and it smells like the most amazing, sweetest lemon. And then you've got the earthy smell of the myrtle and the willow and the lulav. And you put these all together and you shake them in all of the directions. We're going to start with east, which is behind us here. So for you guys, wherever you are, east is facing Jerusalem, although it doesn't have to be perfect. And we are going to do a little call for rain. But first we have to bless our shaking the lulav. So everyone, the Hebrew at the end, the new words you're going to learn, repeat after me. Netilat.
Netilat.
Lulav.
Lulav.
Okay, so we blessed are you, Adonai, sovereign of the universe, who makes us holy through your commandments, your mitzvot, commanding us to take up the lulav. And there's a very special melody that you are going to hear both in the blessing and in our hodu. It is called a Mi Sinai melody, and it's got lots of little patterns going down that are reminiscent of those raindrops falling down like we want to in Israel. So, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam. There's that melody. Asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu al netilat lulav.
Amen.
All righty, here we go. Hodu l'Adonai, and so ki tov, ki leolam chasto yomar na Yisrael ki leolam, and down chasto. One more time. Yoruna ve'tarun, and to the south. Ki leolam chasto, north. Yoruna yirei Adonai, ki leolam chasto.
And Kenner, I love that the rain dance that we're doing is for rain in Israel. So no matter where Jews were at any time, Jews in Yemen, Jews in Poland, Jews in France, Jews in Russia, Jews in America, that we're connected with our liturgy to the weather patterns and the needs of Israel. It's a way of connecting us for thousands of years, no matter where we were.
Mm-hmm. It's amazing. And you just took me right back to my Sukkot in Israel. And walking through, you see, even on these balconies, everyone has a sukkah. And you then, in these restaurants, and sometimes I would look up and I'd be afraid of things falling down. But it's really something incredible when you walk around in Israel during Sukkot and you see that. So we have one more psalm we're going to sing together. Uzi v'zimratia. We sang it at the beginning of our service. Adonai is my strength and might. Adonai is my song. Zimra also means song. Adonai is my song. God is my salvation. And of course, the reason why we sing this over Sukkot is that we are really connecting to this God who is kind of touching the earth and hopefully bringing that rain down to the earth and then bringing us a sense of strength and connection as well. Ozi v'zimrat Yah. Ozi v'zimrat Yah.
Friends, on behalf of our President, Robert Wittenstein, and our Board of Trustees, we want to wish everybody a Shabbat Shalom. Look for all of the opportunities in your Kesher Quick of how you can keep on being engaged by Temple Emanu-El and with Temple Emanu-El. We talked about the drive-by Sukkot. Also, we miss you and you miss us, and we are in later in October, going to start gradually having people come back for outside Shabbat services while we have this beautiful weather. We're calling it Fresh Air Shabbat. You'll need to register because we're going to be safe with the number of people that we have. But keep an eye out for that in your Kesher Quick and the blasts that come out, as well as all of the learning opportunities and prayer opportunities, social justice opportunities, and social connection opportunities that we keep on putting your way. So we're getting ready for our Shehechianu moment. We're saying Shehechianu primarily tonight because it is the first night of Sukkot, and you say Shehechianu, literally thanking God for this moment in time with Sukkot. The lulav, the whole thing together is called the lulav, and that's the willow and the date palm and the myrtle and this etrog. And each one, I really like this idea, each one, the rabbis say, represents a different type of Jewish person or a different type of Jewish community. And that some Jews lead with their eyes, and the myrtle looks like an eye. And some Jews lead with their prayers or their mouth, like the willow. Some Jews lead with their action, and the actual lulav, the date palm, is supposed to look like a spine. And some Jews lead with their heart, the etrog. And in order to have the mitzvah of Sukkot, you need to have all of the different types of Jews together. It's not one is better than the other. We're all in this together, and together we can have an Am Yisrael Chai, a nation of Israel being strong and kind and together through the mitzvah of Sukkot. So, that's enough for a Shehechianu for me, that we are here, that we have reached this moment in time. If you have something you'd like to say Shehechianu for, please pop it into the Facebook feed. If you are a bar and bat mitzvah, this is the way that we know that you're here, because you're going to let us know what you're thankful for. Cantor, what are you thankful for right now?
Oh, you know, I'm super thankful for our whole team. we made it through probably the strangest high holidays
The
any of us
strangest.
has ever
Yes,
experienced.
yes. But wonderful. They
But
ended
really,
up
really
being
wonderful.
amazing.
It
But
was
yes.
it was a phenomenal experience, and I'm really grateful for having it and for experiencing it with everybody, with our whole clergy team and our whole staff, and especially thankful for Mark Feinberg, who's behind the scenes, who worked his tail off with all of the videoing and running around and made all of us look wonderful.
And we have an amazing congregation. Our congregants are incredible.
Yep.
Okay, so for all that and the things that we are grateful for, everybody please sing with us the Shehekianu prayer, thanking God for this moment of time that we're together. May we have more types of this type of time again and again and again in its season.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Your Misha Barak prayer can be found on page 11 of your daf. This is our prayer where we pray for healing, a healing of mind, of body, of soul, of relationship. Our prayers for a refuah shlema go out to all of those who have COVID-19, including President Trump. We ask for a healing for all of them. Our community asks for a refuah shlema for Vicki Atkinson, Brett Samsky, Stu Aaron, Alan Goldman, Andy Rush, Eva Littman, Devorah Tamar bat Yitzchak Laser v'Sharuna Ahuva, Aaron Brody, Stuart and Matthew Katz, Murray Goldstein, Richard Needle, Harry Dunn, Baruch ben Marcy, Ari Yaakov ben Leah Devorah, Jack Elkin, Florence Rosenberg, Sarah Elkin, Andrea Severdini, Matthew Wilcox, Jacob Mersky, Annie Solomon, Deborah Braun-Schwartz, Rennie Waltzman, Schiffer Batsara, Will Lichtenstein, Patricia Malloy, Rush Homrick, Jerome Weinstein, Mindy Spector, Robert Weinstein, Jeffrey Sigelman, Leah Menucha, Bat Yitzchak Benjamin Veliba, Jack Lubish, Adam Kulbersh, and Lisa Solanik. Who are you saying Misha Berach for this Shabbat? Either say their names out loud or in your hearts, or type them into the feed so we can all see who it is. Friends, join us together. Misha Berach.
Misha Berach Avotenu Mikor HaBeracha Limotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misha Berach Imotenu Mikor HaBeracha Lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Refuah Shlema. Friends, it is time for Kiddush, page 386, 12 on your daf. If you have a special Kiddush cup, please get that ready. And Cantor, we have a special festival Kiddush tonight.
We do.
Okay.
That we do. So, it sounds very similar to the melody we used when we blessed the lulav and the etrog. And there's special text that talks about the joy of the season of Sukkot. So everyone, please join with us. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol am, v'romemanu mikol hashon, v'kiddeshanu b'mitzvotav, v'titen lanu Adonai Eloheinu be'ahava, Shabbatot liminucha, umoadim lesimcha, chagim uzmanim lesason, et yom hashabbat hazeh, ve'et yom chag hasukot hazeh, zman simchatenu mikra kodesh, zecher litziat mitzrayim, kivanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat umoadei kodshecha, be'ahava u'veratzon, be'simcha u'v'sason, hinchaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai, mekadesh hashabbat v'Yisrael, v'hazmanim. Amen. L'chaim.
L'chaim libracha. Okay. And we have, Aleinu, page 586, page 13 on your daf. I get to come up and open our ark. We still have all of our Torahs with their high holiday whites. They're going to keep their high holiday whites until through Simchat Torah. So here we are.
Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon hakol, latet gedula leotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kegoye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpechot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, v'goralenu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishachavim umodim, lifnei melech, malchei hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, v'nemar, v'haya Adonai, l'melech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
Please be seated. We're almost at the end of our service. We have the Mourner's Kaddish, Kaddish Yatom, on page 598, page 14 in your daf. Of course, your Mourner's Kaddish comes at the end of the service because it would not feel right. It would not feel right to not invoke the names of those who we have so loved but who have passed. And by invoking their names, we pull their memories towards us and elevate this type of time and experience even more. In the period of Shiva, we have the families of Barbara Abrams and Herman Saltzman. In Shloshim, the families of Selma Gummer, Patsy Hummel, and Alan Rabin. Yard sites this Shabbat for Bess Burnett, Florence Burke, Jack Broda, Stanley Cohen, Jean Dimmenstein, Irving Fogelman, David Lifshitz, Celia Mendel, Evelyn Milstein, Gert Peskin, Goldie Preluck, Sadie Rosen, Gloria Seitzman, Mark Shore, Tilly Siegel, John Stanley, Arthur Stein, Joshua Stone, Alfred Stone, Evelyn Taratut, Seymour Wiberman, Sandy Weinberg, Michael Wexler, and Oscar Zimmerman. If you are in the Shloshim period of mourning, the first 30 days after a loved one's passing, I would ask you to rise now so that we can recognize you. please remain standing. If you're in the first year of mourning a loved one's passing, please also rise now and remain standing. If you are commemorating the yahrzeit, the death anniversary of a loved one's passing, please rise now. And if it is your custom to rise in solidarity, or to rise for those who have no one to say Kaddish for them, please do so now. We find Mourner's Kaddish. Yit Gadav, Yit Kadash, Me Rabbah, Be'alma Divrach Hirotei, V'yamlich Malchutei, B'chayechon, V'yomechon, U'chayedecho Beit Yisrael, B'galav Izman Kari V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah, Mevarach Le'alam, Ulamei Almaya, Yit Barach, V'yishtabach, V'yit Pa'ar, V'yitraman, V'yitnaseh. Vita Dar, Vita Le, Vita Lal Shmei Dukucha, Barichu, La'ela Min Kol Pirachata V'shirata, Tushbacharta V'nechamata, Damiram Be'alma V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rabbah Min Shemaya, V'chaim Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen. Osei Shalom B'imru Mav, Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu V'al Kol Yisrael, V'imru, Amen.
Oseh Shalom, B'imru Mav, Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'yimeru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, B'imru Mav, Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'yimeru, Amen. Oseh Shalom, B'imru Mav, Huya Aseh Shalom, Aleinu. Ve'al Kol Yisrael, Ve'yimeru, Amen.
May the one who brings peace from the heavens bring peace upon us, on all of Israel, on this Shabbat, on this new year, on this first evening of Sukkot. Everybody, Hag Sameach Sukkot, Shana Tova, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.